It is good to be back onto the tracks after a couple of months of busy work. Finally, we could get back to our regular routine. Over the past, we could consider ourselves as professional campers, but really, we have somewhat lost our professionalism after a few months off the tracks. I tell ya, we literally took a few hours to pack our gear, and this was only an understatement. In this trip, we have to learn to become professional campers again. We thought of something very simple, so we just cruised through some forest tracks and finished in a local beach back in our hometown, Albany. What a beautiful day today. I really miss camping a lot, and it's been a few months. I don't know what to say, really. Yeah, I mean, look at this beautiful place. This is a place in Kent River, and the good thing is we've been blessed with a few fine days. And so we are here. This is very close to Albany, and we're not doing anything crazy this time. No expedition, no mud tracks, nothing like that. But we just want to enjoy. It's very close, within half an hour drive, and so we end up this Kent River. It's a bit of a what do you call this? I don't know what to say, really. I've lost all my words. This is Kent River. This is where we started this journey to find out the meaning of professional camping. Before that, let's start with some driving that is rather fun, but not too technical. This could be the initial test of my newest off-road performance addition in my car, a rear differential lock. From now on, my car is finally twin locked, a front non-selectable auto locker, and a rear selectable air activated locker. This ensures all four wheels rotate equally and eliminates any possible wheel spin. As you can see, the four tires gripped effectively. Even one of the front wheels was lifted. After we had enough fun, we quickly proceed to our first designated camp before the sun goes down. Finally, we found camp that is in basically in the state forest area near Albany. This is not a bad spot. Well, people use this as furniture apparently. And check this out. This is my it's a King's Swag Daddy Deluxe. It's actually not a bad one. But I have to tell you, I've only been using these, or I haven't even used once, but I've been setting it up, practicing for a couple of times. That clip is broken. That clip is broken too. And also, at the time I unboxed the King swag, that fell out from the box. So 3 clips are broken, but it shouldn't really affect the way I use it, so I'll sort of let it go. And now we're going to prepare our meal for the night. What is better to wake up in such a quiet and fine morning? Who knows, there is such a lovely place in such a short distance from home. We stayed in a camp for quite a bit. After all, camping is all about laziness and escape, isn't it? I thought it might be a good opportunity to explain my philosophy. Alright, good morning. This is after the first night of camping in this spot very close to Albany, our hometown. So part of this small adventure is to restore our professionalism of camping. So, what is professional camping? In my opinion, firstly, it needs to be happy. Happy camping, happy wife, happy life. And to do that, things need to be convenient. So if things are not convenient, if it takes an hour or 2 to set up a camp, nah, not happy. And sometimes it has to be a good balance as well. If things are really fast, but it offset the, it compromises lots of things. For example, vehicle weight, things like rooftop tent. Yes, it could be potentially a pretty fast setup in camp, very convenient. But thinking about having another 40 to 50 kilograms or even more on a car, it's not really ideal. Things like this, very nice. It gives you hot water in a minute or 2. You can have a nice coffee in the morning. How good is that? I suppose other things you need to consider is about resources usage. Professional camping requires minimum amount of resources, such as water. You only use small amount of water every time, and obviously we're talking about smallest usable amount of water. Too much obviously is a wastage, but too little, things are not clean. And to do that, you probably you can be easily achieved, because you can nowadays we have garden hoses attachments, and the garden hoses attachments comes with spray, different options, different selections of don't know how do you call that, outlet, the spray, the shower head, I suppose. You can turn it to mist when you don't want much water. If you need to fill up something, you can turn it to shower, and it fills up in no time. Yes, camping can be very professional. For someone like us, goes camping at least once a month. We're expecting ourselves to pack up everything at home in say within half an hour. And I consider this as professional camping. When you hit a campsite, you set up yourself probably within 15 minutes. That's a really good timing. You have your own rubbish. You have your own rubbish carrying, let's say rubbish bag, so you don't leave the campsite a mess. And also part of that is a bit of a vehicle setup as well. A vehicle setup in a way that gives you convenience, fast, something that you need to get quickly is in a place that is very convenient. Things that you don't really need as often, it goes inside a little bit deeper, so you don't really have to get it, so it's not really relevant to be convenient. Things like this awning needs to be very convenient, and for me this 30 kilograms awning is a bit of a trade-off, but I really like this addition because obviously it gives me a convenience, it gives me an area of shade. It's just, I think it is really the best item I've got in my possession. And I mean showering en suite. Wife's happy, I'm happy. So this is what I think as professional camping. Tell me what you think, comment down below. And I reckon part of camping as well, you need to be able to manage the outdoor elements. You have to be able to toughen up and get used to things. For example, in Australia we have this really precious element, flies. How do you live with heaps of flies when they're flying around in your head? I suppose for me, I'm obviously not the only one. Having 10 flies flying around your head is very, very annoying, especially when you're trying to do something. Your hands are not free, you can't get them away. And in the same time, when your hands are not free, they're flying around your head like that. They're your darling. I suppose that is a problem of season. Usually in the beginning of summer or the middle of spring, that's when all these insects sort of come out, and I suppose they mate. I'm not sure, I could be wrong, but that's when we see most flies. So maybe try to avoid coming out in that season. It could be a very bad season to come out, really, because of that reason. And under this weather, this is basically, I reckon, after the middle of summer, we don't have many flies. We may get a few mozzies, but it is much better than a couple of months ago. You get heaps of sandflies, heaps of blowflies. They all bite you, and not to mention a storm of mozzies at night time. And it's pretty hard to go even with insect repellents. Also, you have to have the right gear to do your type of camping. As you may know, there are different types of camping. It could be very luxury type glamping, we call it. So for me, that's not a professional camping, but obviously that is up to you. My type of camping involves going to the bush, going to places where things are not supported. You have to be self-sufficient with your own water, electrics, your fridge system, I suppose, and your own shelter. So that is the type of camping we are looking for. And well, obviously you can go for things like glamping, and you have to do a little bit more research about the area, whether it has the resources you need. But it's okay if you like glamping. That's what you like. But in my situation, I have to prepare my own stuff and put things in the right order so I won't get pissed off when I have to use my resources. I suppose when you plan for a camping trip, you have to select the right season, and this could be a big argument between two different groups, because some people reckon going out in winter, well, winter in Australia is a wet season. Is it? It is, yeah. It's a wet season, and I really prefer going into the bush in wet season because it's nicer, it's warmer generally in the bush in wet season. But the thing about wet season is you tend to get a bit of muddy four-wheel driving when you when it is in winter time, especially in the forest. And sometimes that's what people don't like. But there is also another 50% of the people who likes this sort of stuff. And then in that case, I assume it is a bit of a the intention. Why do you go there? If you go there to just mess up the tracks because it's muddy, it's wet, it's fun, it's not that appropriate, I suppose. But if your intention is to go through that track, go through that place with the easiest approach, I suppose, then why not? It is nice. It's warmer in the bush, and it's nicer. Not many insects in winter. So I think it's a pretty nice time to go. Oh, plus you can in some places you can have campfire, and that completes the whole camping experience. Or summertime, you can argue you go to the beach. The beach is nice because you tend to get a bit of breeze in summer, and generally in the beach is cooler in summer compared to the forest. But it could also mean the beach is really hot without winds. In the day that the beach has no winds, it can be a bit of a nightmare to pack up, especially you have to close the awning and put things in your bag, and then not to mention there are heaps of flies flying around your head. Yeah, that could be a horrible experience. So plan your trip, set your waypoints, go if you haven't. Well, part of planning may involve a lot of exploring. You may have to get one of your mates who doesn't mind waiting, who doesn't mind getting lost in the tracks, to plan your trips, to plan your waypoints. And so after that, after several times of exploration, you may be able to find some nice tracks and put them all together and become an adventure and expedition. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at 4x4 Adventure WA. I will see you in part 2.